Here is the motion picture record released by the United States Navy of the havoc wrought by the sneak sky and sea raid on Pearl Harbor, America's mid-Pacific naval bastion. On December 7th, 1941, Japan, like its infamous Axis partners, struck first and declared war afterwards. Costly to our Navy was the loss of war vessels, airplanes, and equipment, but more costly to Japan was the effectiveness of its foul attack in immediately unifying America in its determination to fight and win the war thrust upon it.
You never forget where you were when you first heard about the attack on Pearl Harbor. My husband, Gene, was 28 years old. He didn't hesitate. As soon as he could, he left to find the nearest recruiting agency. His dad had fought in the first war, and he knew now it was his turn. Times were different back then. Women were not a big part of the workforce. I certainly wasn't. I was 22, just married, and looking forward to starting our family. I had visions of laundry and diapers and dishes. I certainly never envisioned that I'd be welding and riveting and swinging a hammer. In those days, women were expected to support their men by keeping things in order around the house, making sure dinner was on time, and having the kids in line. That all changed when those planes took out Pearl Harbor. The whole country was called to action. Men dropped what they were doing and went to fight for the red, white, and blue. Women who had never been encouraged to take up any employment were now being asked to help their country by doing the jobs that the men were not around to do anymore. This was certainly a big shock to our system and a big shift in our thinking. What role am I supposed to fill? The man I pictured raising children with was now off to who knows where, risking his life for our country. And now I'm expected to do things and take jobs I had never imagined I could do. I had no college education. In fact, I didn't even finish high school. My mother died when I was 15, and it was up to me to help with my two younger sisters. I knew how to run a household, but that was it. I did all I know to do. I turned to God. I prayed for days. Lord, what am I supposed to do? I remembered a poster I saw at the train station the day Gene left for the war. It simply said, "Do the job he left behind." I immediately went to the employment service, and they sent me to learn machinery that I'd never seen in my life. Here I am, little old me, barely 5 foot tall, 110 pounds, climbing into airplane wings and securing them to the aircraft. They had a name for us. They called us Rosie the Riveter. We wore that title with pride. Our men were risking their lives every second on the battlefield. But we Rosies truly believed that the work we did every day is what made it possible for those men to do their jobs and end the war. We had to think like we never had to think before. We had to adjust our minds. We had to believe in ourselves. We had to say to ourselves, we can do it. A lot of time has passed since my days as Rosie. I've never welded airplane wings again, but the mindset never changed. No challenge I ever faced was too big for me or my God. I had helped my country win a war. I had actually lived the scripture that no weapon formed against me can prosper. I've been able to tell my family that no matter what the challenge, no matter what the adversity, no matter what life throws at you, we can do it.